Hello everybody, this is NCS, and welcome back to Let's Play Sengoku Gensoukyou. Last time, we conquered the first of the Ate Forest territories, and today, we are not going to attack them any further unless we have the time at the end. But instead, we are going to activate another event. Let's see. Yes, it is triggered again. As you can see, we have the same cutscene from the end of the last episode here again. And yes, our action is reduced to 1 point once again. So apparently that's not a bug. This scene here that we just had is not always triggered. It's just a few or like 50% of the times after you had the third feast event, which you will get once you have 20 official characters recruited at one point in time, including Marisa and Reima. Well, this scene is supposed to, well, show you, hey, you have a new event there, use it already! Which is what we're going to do today. So, let's set a feast trap. This is quite clearly an incident. Yeah, I've actually been thinking that for a while now. You lie. Hey, I'm not lying. And the proof is cause this incident reminds me of something a while ago. My, what a coincidence. It brings up certain memories for me too. And that's not something to be particularly proud of. Yeah, I suppose not. But yeah, I've definitely experienced something similar to this before. Yes, people naturally gathering without anyone calling them. And continuous, never-ending feasts. There was a secret perpetrator behind the scenes then. The MO this time is completely the same too. Looking at the situation, they're entirely alike, so the culprit should be the same too. And she's usually in league with Yukari too. Gee, she always goes too far. Well, now you know the culprit's objective, but what can you do to stop it? We know their objective. Well, it could be to just gather people for a feast. Or Marisa is thinking about something we don't, or at least I don't. We can't see her after all, so we can't lay a finger on her. Yeah, the whole turning to mist thing is really annoying. Do you think I'll give up that easily? Me, a specialist? I've been keeping this secret since it'll be a trouble if she hears about it, but you'll see. Reima smiled mysteriously as she spoke. She probably had an effective plan in mind. That's what Marisa thought at least, so she decided to let Reima handle everything. So her plan is to set another feast. Trap? Yeah, okay, that does make sense. Here, I'll show you one of the many styles of martial arts for your entertainment. Ah! Ha! Oh! The close-range form of battle using chi with your bare hands. As a swordswoman, I must keep this in mind for reference. You really are quite skillful. Do your fingers not get tired from manipulating so many dolls at the same time? That's only for amateurs. You're able to throw several knives with terrific accuracy at the same time too, after all. Goodness, everyone's so enthusiastic even in this sweltering heat. You should try to mix around with everyone too, Pachi. It might just give you asthma. What a nice joke. My asthma will end the day I stop breathing. Do make sure to come to me when that happens. I could use a few more people with brains. You're not allowed to headhunt my subjects. You can take the black one if you want though. Well, that isn't quite the same. Marisa might be intelligent, but not to the extent of Pachuri. At least, she hasn't had the experience Pachuri had due to her longer life. But Reima told me to join in normally, but not to drink. But that ain't normal at all. Yeah, after all, the only requirements to end up in, be allowed to stay in Gensoukyou is to be, a creature that has become a fantasy, or a person who has become fantasy, to be spirited away for some odd reason and not wanting to return, and to drink alcohol whenever possible. Yeah. Just, what's she planning? Marisa, it's strange to see you so deep in thought. Eh? Ah, yeah. Decapitators are real awful. That sort of fits, but it's not quite what we were talking about. Emma, please hurry up already. Yeah, being the only one not drinking at a party when everyone else is kind of, well, it just doesn't fit. I'm not drinking alcohol because I don't want to, but even then I usually try to avoid parties where everyone's just gathering to drink. Rema stood at a faraway location from the feast, acting as its shadow. Well, actually, why is nobody noticing that Rema isn't there either? Usually even though she always wants the feast not to start in the first place, she's one of a few people who drinks quite a lot too. She looked at the festivities from a distance, smiling at a job well done. Good, it's progressing well. Now just needs to get close to its climax, then... Rema continued to inspect the situation from a distant location. It was barely visible among the sake drinking crowd. But as it got wilder, a certain fog became visible and started to get thicker. Just as it was all reaching its climax, Rema slowly stood up, spread her legs, and placed her hand on her hips. Her fingers then intertwined together, and she began to chant. The four borders that enclose shall exorcise the evil and negate the gloom of the Oni's calamities. Make the invisible visible, evil Oni seal! She held out a branch of a sacred tree and spoke words befitting of a shrine maiden who served her god. A gigantic barrier then enclosed the area of the feast, cutting it off from the outside world. Whew, this should do it. Now to apply the finishing touches. The barrier that now enclosed the area was completely colorless and transparent. It looked completely different from the inside, with a cloudy mist around it. Only tiny things like worms could get through. If worms can get through, couldn't mist get also through? Rema, your logic is faulty! Hey Rema, what's up with this thing? Marisa rushed over as soon as she saw Rema started to approach them. She was naturally asking about the barrier. None of the others had apparently noticed the barrier and were continuing to drink merrily. It's exactly what it looks like, a barrier. Nothing from the inside can escape out of it. Ah, I see where you're getting at. Unlike the last time, we know what we're dealing with now. No matter how much she tries to disperse, if she can't run, she'll have to show herself. Or she'll just need to wait until you're getting tired of it and lift the barrier by yourself, Rema. She then marched right into the middle of the party. She looked left and right, but was not even slightly interested in joining in. Instead, she was looking to end the enjoyable feast right this moment. Now then, you can't hide forever. Come out already. I know you're there. Rema folded her arms and called out to nothingness. The thin fog that was hovering over the area started to gather and materialize into the form of a human. With horns, but... yeah, sort of. And there she is, the mastermind behind the endless feasts. Suika Ibuki. The formation eventually completed to reveal the figure of a little girl with the body of a kid, and a pair of oversized horns that looked silly on her stature. Ah, I got found out again. You did well to find me. It was obvious. This was the second time after all. You sure brought a really nostalgic antique out of the occasion though. I didn't think you'd still have those barriers around. an absolute barrier that cannot be escaped easily, used for Oni binding. I looked through the old books in the storehouse especially for you. Good job, I suppose. Suika wasn't affected by Reima's displeased way of talking at all, and took another swig from the gourd that she carried with her everywhere. Want a drink, Reima? Drink? The feasts are over now. It's a real bother to hold these constantly. And you're the one who kept gathering them to this place, weren't you? Wow, I've found out that much? That was exactly the same thing that happened in Immaterial and Missing Power too, so this was obvious. Then again, that was pretty much the same too. Exactly. Isn't it fine though? Everyone had a lot of fun. Not the Reima though. Suika glanced over at the partygoers, who still hadn't noticed that the Oni who was always at feasts had shown up. They were still too busy continuing the feast. You all should stop too! Oh, but today's the last time after all, so we have to enjoy it to the fullest. Indeed. I don't even know what you're making such a big fuss over. You knew from the beginning, didn't you? Well, yeah. It's no longer an incident if we know what's the cause of it. And we're not troubling anyone. Yes, you are! I'm breaking up the party right now! By force if I have to! By force, huh? Uh-oh. You don't mean to. Suika slowly began to stand up, gourd still attached to mouth, reacting to Reima's exclamation. She stood steadily and confidently, as if she was ready to beat anyone and everyone up, despite all the sake she drank. Well, she's a master of the drunken arts, obviously. If you see her sober, that's something to be worried about, actually. You're boasting about your strength in front of an Oni, huh? When did you get so haughty? Why did you do this to begin with? If you wanted to drink, no one would mind if you did it normally. That's because that black one over there, she said something that really got on my nerves. What? Me? Marisa? What did you say to her? I seriously have no idea. What did I do? You said that I wasn't needed. Huh? Oh wait, you meant back at the human village? Oh come on, Suika, that wasn't meant that seriously. Right, let's just keep a discreet eye on it. Ah, using my head too much makes me hungry. Let's get some soba while we're here. I'll take mine with tempura. Who said I'm treating you? Who said I wanted to be treated? I'll take tofu soba then. The cold tofu goes wonderfully with the hot soba. As for you, I'll treat you to a slice of watermelon. Forget it! Especially the bit about the watermelon. I don't need anything that reminds me of a certain Oni. See? She just... Okay, yeah. She kind of said that she didn't want to see you, huh? Okay. I give the point there, Suika. But still, that was only a little friendly banter and not really meant that she doesn't like you. I finally came back to Gensoukyou, and some human went and said I'm not needed. So I figured I'd give her another lesson on the strength of the Yoni. So you were the source of all the troubles. Hey, I wasn't talking about Suika. I was talking about the watermelons. And you were listening in? Well, she is a stalker. Yeah, I was. I was the fog near you. Anyway, that's why. So let's get started. You gotta do some exercise after some heavy drinking. Oni really are such troublemakers. I wanted to resolve this peacefully, but since this is the case now, you better prepare yourself. Prepare myself? Heh, your memory isn't too good. I'll make you remember once again the power of the ancient Oni that humans and yokai have forgotten. Alright, it's fighting time against Suika! For this battle here, I don't want to send in characters that have debuffs, but oh well. I'm going to send in the last party that I haven't shown off just yet. Being Marisa, Mima, Pachiri, Alice, and Shanghai. Unfortunately for right now, Marisa has a little bit of trouble being with Alice and Pachiri. resulting in them being debuffed. And holy shit! Almost one-hit kill for Mima there. Yeah, this battle here, Suika is overly powerful for right now. I probably should have done some leveling up actually. And can most likely one-hit kill everybody. However, in exchange, all you need to do is keep attacking her, and if one of your characters is defeated, well, another one will show up. This is what you could consider an endless battle. Or a survival battle if you want. Like the survival spell cards in Toho games. Just, oh god, Pandemonium. Just try not to die with all the characters that you have. For Pandemonium, ow. It's an 5 times attack that will hit your characters. Yeah. It'll attack random characters, so if you're lucky, it'll hit only characters that you don't care about. If you're unlucky, you're dead. So, I wonder if I should use Pachuli's Royal Flare. She's gonna die eventually anyway. And that eventually being sooner than I want. I don't think that Komachi's special ability works on Suika. It could, but I'm not sure about that. And I'm surprised that Hora is still alive. Okay. Yeah, this battle here, since you have all your characters that you have at your disposal, winning this is not as troublesome as you might think. Oh yeah, let's just attack normally. I don't think Royal Flare will do much damage anyway. If you have all your characters about level 20 or above, this battle should be easy enough if you have a lot of characters. Also something to keep in mind, only the characters who survive at the end of the battle get experience. And apparently Pandemonium only attacks, oh god, Hideo no Akyu. Pandemonium only attacks 2 to 5 times, good to know. And if I could, I would like Akyu to die actually. Okay, perfect. Failed. Oh. Yeah, I don't want Akyu to level up. Because for every 5 levels, well, 2 only level up 1 level, but still, your characters require 1 cost more, which is a little stupid. But anyway, we've almost defeated the Oni. And Totodile is still alive. Nice, but Rima died. Okay, I definitely want you to die though. Can you commit suicide? Thank you. And the Rima has joined in. Nice! Pachuli is also still alive. Akyu just commit suicide if possible. Almost. There we go. No level up for you. Wriggle, okay. I don't think you can commit suicide anymore. Yeah, just attack. If some character that you don't want to levels up, oh, well, at least you win. And right, we got 80% again. Huh. Yeah, if you know of that. Oh, we don't get any experience at all, okay. Ow, whoa, whoa, whoa. Gee, couldn't you all have shown a bit restrained? Well, you were the one who wanted to fight, so of course not. They achieved victory against the illusionary Oni of terrifying strength, Suika Ibuki. But even though everyone had taken shots at her, didn't look even the slightest bit wary. Yeah, we're like fighting 20 on one, and we had pretty heavy losses. Fortunately, no characters retreat from the army if you win this battle. Or lose, although if you lose, I think it's a game over. As if we could when fighting someone like you. Anyway, this is the end of the feast, so hurry up and... Ah, wait a sec! What? If you think you can make excuses... Well... yeah, she's about there, I guess. She's definitely a lot better than before. It's like she just needs a little push. Hey, what are you mumbling to yourself about? Yeah, I guess I'll give her the final shove, huh? Alright, gotcha! It should be fine, I think. Are you talking to Yukari over some Mystical Device again? Like, during the events of Subterranean Animism when Reima was talking to Ikari with the power of her yin-yang orbs. Enchanted yin-yang orbs by Ikari, but still. Suika had apparently received communication from something, and looked like she was talking to herself. Reima started to get a bad feeling, but Suika turned to her before it could develop. Ah, sorry, I'm done now. Don't worry about it. All you need to worry about is this. What? Oh, what was that negatizing flash there in the background? Suika had been smiling the whole time, but the smile disappeared from her face that second, causing Reima to stop in her tracks. And music change, oh god. Reima took up a stance to prepare when she noticed something strange.